Hey, what's up, Rudy? Ryan George Fair. So, the other day I went to Spencer's and I bought this hat. It is 11:12 a.m. and it is 10/1/2022. So it's October 1st, 2022. Um, let's see. I posted a video of a boy named Walko on my One Ryan Fair channel. But looked up his name on Facebook, and he posts things about being in a Luciferianist or Satanist group, sounding like Jay Walko. My religious belief is that I'm former Wiccan. That I'm like an atheist now. I believe that religion is something that can be that people can do to help them throughout their life. For example, when I was 12 or 13, I was Christian, and my dad George is a Catholic, and my mom's side of the family are like heaven and hell Christians. Now, my religious belief for a long time, from the time until I was 20 or 21, or actually 23 until I was 27, is that I was a Wiccan person. And I believed in a goddess called Hecate and a god called Zeus. And I had religious psychosis. Now, religious psychosis is where you believe in a god and a dark goddess. My belief is that this goddess looked like Amy Lee from Evanescence, and a god as a man with a beard. And like I said, during it now I'm 30. I'm 30 years old. Basically, what I do with my disability money that they qualified or renewed for the third or fourth time is I go to the store and I buy hats with my disability money that they just renewed, and I buy hats, I buy clothes, I buy things like that. Um, I go to the restaurants and I eat food. And this is a new hat that I just bought. Let me see if I can find my do rag. This is a do rag that I recently bought, and I have a black and white one somewhere. So what I like to do is I like to wear do rags. And on my Sims 4, I recently shared a post. See, even though I'm an atheist, I've encountered these 23 people that are always real during the day, and about 30 of them that don't like me. Now, one example is my first threesome when I was 20 or 21 was with a boy named Jaymz Michael Colvin. And if he were to come to my door, I would go outside and look to see if he's there and then ignore him. Because with him, he was my first threesome when I was 20 or 21. And then I did 22 with him, and then I did 30 with a boy named Alex. I did some with a boy named Tyler. And then about 4 or 5 months, and then about sometime last year, I was with a girl with black hair whose name was Berta. And me and my friend with black hair did threesomes on her. Now, my belief as far as religion goes, that as long as your religion doesn't believe in animal torture or believe in torture or hurting other people for shits and giggles, I really could care less what you believe in. Now, for a long time, I was an extremist witchcraft cult, and I believed in Hecate and Zeus, and a god and a goddess, and I would say prayers to gods and goddesses and deities. Now, for people who want to think that I'm lying about the whole Shirley Rapton thing, Billy Wesley Fouts' friends, one was a boy named Summoner, whose name is Chris Whitehouse. There was And see, if Billy Wesley Fowles were to open up a YouTube channel and talk crap about me, people would sit there and like it. Okay? And his real name is not Billy Myers. And then, like I said, up the street, there was a boy, his name was Rob Meyer, that was a diabetic, that lived up the street from me, and he had diabetes. And his family consists of Dylan, Robert, and MJ Meyer. And then, like I said, my first threesome when I was 20 or 21 was with my friend Jaymz Colvin. And his mom is former military and she can't qualify for disability. Now, the disability office approved my disability in 4 or 5 weeks of applying because these 23 people are always real during the day, even though I'm a schizophrenic and about 33 of them that don't like me. Now, I don't know. If you look on Instagram, you can see Bravo Brooks, and then there's Bailey Connor on my One Ryan for Facebook. Now, Brooke Dirks and Bailey Connor are two different people, even though I'm a schizophrenic. They could be related, I don't know. It's just Brooke Dirks was my girlfriend at my former school, and then Bailey Connor was a girl that worked with me at my ShopRite job. And then, like I said, there's a boy that's name is Dan Reichley that is on Instagram as Dan Reichley, and then there's an artist that I found called Damon Winning. And then, like I said, Jaymz Colvin, if you look on Maryland Judiciary Case Search, you can see where he has charges with his girlfriend Jasmine Brunson, who is a light skinned girl, and she has a sister named Alexis Brunson, and they would call her Brandy. And then sometime when I was 20 or 21, I watched a prank call where the people in BHH or Charlotte would prank call Natika, and they would say the names Jasmine and Brandy, and then Jasmine and Brandy became two light skinned girls that lived in my town, even though I'm a paranoid schizophrenic. And then, like I said, I used to hang out with Alex, who was the boy who stole my Xbox sometime when I was 28 or 29. And he hung out with a boy named Brandon Tillms, and then up the street, nice next door neighbor, was a boy named Sean Rent. And then, like I said, I had a friend named Brandon Drexler, who had a friend named Sean Shellman. So I believe that it is possible for coincidence, people to be real, even though I believe that religion can be harmful, or people can seek after religion to help with their issues. Now, Billy Wesley Fouts gets disability for mental health issues and scoliosis and other issues. They approved my disability in 4 or 5 weeks, and I've talked to people who are former military who have brain injuries that can't even qualify for disability. Now, it's not a matter of the fact that I'm just a paranoid schizophrenic person. I have Tourette syndrome, which they diagnosed me with when I was 7. I have autism, which they diagnosed me with when I was 8, and I was abused by a schizophrenia treatment team, which was a Shepherd Pratt Act team. And like I said, I went to the former school in the grounds of Maryland Shepherd Pratt, and then I went to another campus in Glendon, and then I went to a campus in Reisterstown, and then I went to the Aero Center for Education. Now, at the Aero Center for Education, there was a girl named Samantha Hoover in my classroom that always made me think about how Billy Wesley felt to talk about this time I have Samantha with me. And then, like I said, I did a threesome with my friend with black hair named Austin. And then, like I said, James Michael Glenn Coleman has a Facebook. And then there's Carl James Hymes. And if you look up Carl James Hymes on Maryland Judiciary Case Search, he calls himself James Crenna. And then, like I said, there's a boy that's name is Jared Green that went to my alternative school, who was a boy with black hair and green eyes. And then Billy Wesley Fouts has black hair and brown eyes. And then, like I said, I was taken advantage of by a makeup guru sometime, about 3 or 4 years ago, whose name was Levi Carver, who left me supportive comments on my YouTubes, even though on my videos people would sit there and dislike them. Now, I really don't see what I'm lying about because I take showers a lot during the day. I'm not sure why. I cry. I have depression. I have bipolar disorder, but I feel I'm in remission from bipolar because I get along with my dad. And Margie Robichaux, who calls herself Gigi with a sister named Jeanette Edwards, is always real on Facebook. And then this boy named Jay Walko that I hung out with, who was on my one video, was into satanic stuff. And he did not pay for my ride back home, so he's an enemy of me. And then, like I said, there was a boy, his name was Alex Stephen Griffith, that was on an episode of the Larry King Show that I used to hang out with sometime when I was 24, 25. And like I said, because I knew Billy Wesley Fouts, I never got anything out of it, like being able to talk to Jeffree Star or Chris Cracker or Johnny Boy XL. But I would go to Florida and hang out with Billy Wesley Fouts, because he was my boyfriend from the time until I was 17 until I was 20 or 21. Now, I don't see what I'm lying about, because after Billy Wesley Fouts left, I cried a lot and I heard voices, and the disability office just renewed my disability for the third time. They renewed my disability for the third time. And like I said, these 23 people are always real on social media, and about 33 of them that don't like me. Now, the reason why I wanted to go out and buy a camera and start an audience with Charlotte is because I couldn't tell if these people were real, and I just wanted people to verify that Jasmine and Alexis, or Jasmine and Brandy, was a thing with Charlotte, because Jasmine and Alexis Brunson are people that are associated with my friend Jaymz, who was my first threesome when I was 20 or 21. Now, Jaymz, his YouTube is Jaymz Coleman, and I'm going to choose not to talk to him. And honestly, in real life, me, Ryan George Fair, is a loner. It's just at any point on my Sims 4, I had a psychotic break because my black friend named Ryan Cherry, whose name is the Ryan Cherry site, died from the coronavirus pandemic. And then, like I said, my first girlfriend, Alicia, cheated on me. She cheated on me sometime when I was 15 with a boy named Austin. And only on one day when me, Ryan George Fair, was 15 or 16, I did things with a boy named Brian, who was my next door neighbor, who was a former military. And like I said, I play my Sims 4, which is Ryan Aliendo. And about once a year, I'm in a relationship with two new girls. But when I was young, I was around my friend Brandon and my friend Wesley. And Wesley had girlfriends, and Brandon had girlfriends, and I didn't. And like I said, Brandon would smoke weed, and I couldn't smoke weed because of my dad. And I've been living in this apartment on Jessica's Lane ever since I was like 12 or 13 years old. And my mom's name is Pam, and my stepdad's name is Tony, and my brother's name's Zachary. And if anybody were to ever come to Bel Air, Maryland, they can meet and interact with Tony, the Amish cart pusher that works at my ShopRite job. That looks like my stepdad Tony with their two different people, even though I'm a schizophrenic. And I had a psychotic break because my black friend named Ryan Cherry died from the coronavirus. I had a white friend named Ryan Dietrich that died. And I felt like I should have talked to Jeffree Star because I'm Ryan George Fair. And Billy Wesley Fouts, I talked to him for several years, even after we broke up. And I feel it's not fair that he was my boyfriend from the time until I was 17 until I was 20, and I never got anything out of it. Instead he would like make status updates about me that were negative, and people would like them. And really, I've been interested in Westboro Baptist Church. And my religious view is that I'm Wiccan sometimes, but I switch to being a Wiccan from an atheist. And like I said, so I'm 30, and sometime when I was 27 is when Alex, my second threesome, who is Alex Stephen Griffith, that was on an episode of Larry King, came in and stole my Xbox from me. Now I like to listen to Owl City and ICP, and I like to listen to Evanescence and Machine Gun Kelly and things like that. And I like to listen to Eminem, and I like to listen to Jeffree Star, and I like to listen to artists like that. And my religious belief is that I believe in a god and a goddess, and I have voice humor talent. Because Billy Wesley Phelps was my boyfriend from the time until I was 17 until I was 20. And I went out and I raised an audience with Sherolade because I was around hypersexuality in my alternative school. There's a man that was named Keith Edwin Brooks in my school that raped a student. And then, like I said, Jaymz Colvin. I couldn't tell if it was either him or Alex that stole my Xbox. Not that it matters, because Jaymz showed me a Jaymz J channel that is not real. And then last say Jeff Ronald McGaney is a person that is on. You can look on Maryland Judiciary Cases and look up Jeff Ronald McGaney, and his Facebook name is Storms Mick. Now with Jeff McGaney, he would hold knives to my neck when I would go over to his house, and it was an extremist witchcraft cult. Um, and I feel it was not healthy. And if you ever go to a house or a person hold knives to your necks because of religious reasons, it's not a, it's not something that is good as a cult. But see, my religious belief is that I believe in atheism, even though these 23 people are always real during the day, like Margie Robichaux on Facebook, who calls herself Gigi, and how I would talk about great granny Gigi and Jeanette with Billy Wesley Fouts. And then, like I said, Billy Wesley Fouts has black hair and brown eyes, and then Jared is a boy with black hair and green eyes. And then, like I said, there was a boy that bullied me in my alternative school named Jermaine, and I had DID to cope with my alternative school, and I would kick desks over. Now, my schizophrenia is that I would go to resource a lot in my alternative school, which was the former school on the grounds of Maryland Shepherd Pratt, but I find that remission from schizophrenia and bipolar disorder is possible. Like I said, I go to restaurants like McDonald's, and I go to Taco Bell and things like that, and I eat food, even though I want to be vegan, but I want to try and be vegan at some point. But for now, I just go to restaurants like Taco Bell and Arby's and McDonald's and I eat food. Now, Billy Wesley Phelps was my boyfriend from the time until I was 17 until I was 20. And then only on one day when I was 21 or 22, I did things with a boy named Kelly J. Caldwell that has a YouTube channel. And only on one day when I was 15 or 16, I did things with a boy named Brian that owned a horror house. And I will always love Billy Wesley Phelps because he was my boyfriend. And I feel that there's nothing wrong with being gay or bisexual in the year 2022 because Jeffree Star has a boyfriend named Nathan and things like that. It's just Jeffree Star groups would never let me in. I never talked to Jeffree Star even though I'm the real Ryan George Fair. Instead, I'd held with Ryan George Fair ripoff report. And like I said, Brooke Darks, my second girlfriend, was a schizophrenic self-harmer that went to my first school and she would cut herself and things like that. And then like I said, Alicia, my first girlfriend. If you look on Maryland Judiciary Case Search and you look up Alicia Mickley, you'll look up charges which deal with destruction of property and things like that. So there's Alicia Brooke. And then like I said, I'll link my third girlfriend, Tanya Dorsey's Facebook, who is dead. And then Nadia Pickett has a YouTube channel, and then Sabrina La Rochelle that I fingered at my 17th birthday party is on YouTube. And then, like I said, this boy named Jay Walko that I hung out with, who said he was my best friend, that would hook me up with girls, and didn't even let me sleep with his girlfriend, is a Satanist person. And I feel that if you want to be into Satanism, that's your choice as a religious person. But my religious belief is that I believe in nothing. I just believe that there are evil people out there. It's just my religious belief for a long time is that I was an extreme weekend person. And like I said, from the time until I was 20 or 21 until I was 24 or 25, I worked at a ShopRite on the main street in Bel Air, Maryland. And there was a manager named Jerry there that treated a boy named Josh nicer than me. I had a friend named Joe. And I was popular in my alternative school. My best friend was a boy named Victor Hill that had black hair and freckles on his face. And I had bad bipolar depression. And like I said, my stepdad's name is Tony Mitchell Willie, and anybody can look up Tony Mitchell Willie. On Maryland Judiciary Case Search or look up Pamela Willie. Or things like that, and see my stepdad's record or my stepbrother's record or my mom's record. Now, with my stepdad, he used to lock me in closets and beat me when I was young. And if my dad, George Fair, were to drop dead tomorrow, I could literally call my mom, Pam, Willie on the phone, or my stepdad, Tony Mitchell Willie, and they would not move me in, so I plan to disown them. And my niece, Abria Height, that has a YouTube channel for getting waxed during a thing, has a YouTube channel, and like I said, if my dad were to drop dead, they would not move me in. And I feel it's not fair that at any point I could appear on Ryan George Fair Ripoff Report when I feel that Brian only on one day when I was 15 or 16 was because Cindy, this girl with black hair that I asked out in Falls and High, turned me down. And like I said, I liked a black and Hispanic girl named Kelly, and I hung out with a friend named Ray. And then like I said, my black friend named Ryan Cherry died from the coronavirus pandemic. And I dealt with a lot of grief and sadness. And like I said, I used to hang out with a boy named Lucas Wisnett in my school. And like I said, Victor Hill, my first best friend, I would always send his girlfriend Sierra friend requests. And I had borderline and OCD and autism and schizophrenia and Tourette syndrome with epilepsy and things like that. And that's Tourette syndrome in my neck. And like I said, 9 months ago, I had a girlfriend with black hair. And once every year, I'm in a relationship with two new girls. But like I said, my first girlfriend, Alicia, cheated on me. Alicia, Brooke, Tanya, Nadia, and Sabrina were the names of my 5 girlfriends in my alternative school. And like I said, I only did things with a boy named Kelly on one day when I was 21. I had one boyfriend who was Billy Wesley Phelps, and I tried to be honest as I could to say that Billy Wesley Phelps was my boyfriend. It's just I never talked to Jeffree Star. Instead, I dealt with hate from Josh Knight and status updates that he would make and like about me. The BHH people would make and like about me that were negative and things like that, and I never got anything out of it, even though I'm Ryan George Fair. And I would have liked to talk to Jeffree Star or maybe Eminem or Danielle Bregoli because, see, Danielle Bregoli is a schizophrenic, or they say that she is, and I deal with tactile hallucinations. I deal with visual and auditory hallucinations during the day, and I couldn't tell if these 23 people that I encountered in my life were real around me, and about the 33 of them that don't like me, like Margie Robichaux and Jeanette, like Brooke Dirksen Bailey, like Dan Reichley and Damon Winning, like Jasmine and Alexis Brunson, like James Colvin and Carl James Hymes, my black friend. Like the Rob Meyer, Dylan Meyer, and MJ Meyer family. And I choose not to talk to James Michael Glenn Colvin because he lied about having sex with teachers in my school. He posted a YouTube channel which was fake and posted it with music videos. And like I said, my black friend named Brian Cherry died from the coronavirus pandemic, which made me sad. And this boy named Ryan Glass that I hung out with Alex and my other friends, had videos of me having sex with females, and any point videos of me having sex with females can appear on Ryan George for Ripoff Report. And drama happens in my personal life of me, Ryan George, for all the time, because Charlotte was something that was just my life from the time until I was 17 until I was 20, but after that, I had a job at ShopRite. I got a license when I was 21 or 22 and I drove around in my car. And then, like I said, on my one Brian Fair Facebook, there's a boy, his name is Brandon Jones, and then there's Brandon James Drexler. So my belief is that even though I'm an atheist, these 23 people are real for some reason, and the 33 of them that don't like me. And I wish I could have talked to famous people, because I feel that my situation could have been tied into all kinds of other things. Because I'm a real schizophrenic. I have bipolar, I have Tourette syndrome. I have autism, I have OCD, I have bipolar, and I have Tourette syndrome with epilepsy. And like I said, I'm friendly to people. I donated to charities, and I went to church with my friend John Powell. There's a coincidence person even that has schizophrenia. And I wish I could have talked to Jeffree Star, because I'm the real Ryan George Fair. And like I said, I like to listen to Machine Gun Kelly. And like I said, my friend Jeff McGaney has charges for animal cruelty and things like that on Maryland Judiciary Case Search. And this is going 1/2 hour, and it is 11:42 a.m. and it's 10/1/2022. Much love and peace survey from Ryan George Fair. I hope everybody's good. I'm going to play my Sims 4, which is Ryan Alien today. I got new mods, and like I said, I'm in a good mood. I plan to smoke my tobacco and drink my alcohol today. And like I said, I don't play the lottery. I just believe in good luck, and I believe in peace and love, and I believe in happiness, and I believe that life is what you make it. And I don't like to watch scary movies. I like to watch happy movies and listen to happy music, like Aisha Woods. And even though I'm a Wiccan person sometimes, I switch from being atheist to Wiccan, but I listen to Christian and Jewish music. So much love and peace to everybody from Ryan George Fair. I hope everybody's good, and I hope everybody is having a good day.